Hey guys, I've got a bit of shoe care to do here, and I figured let's go ahead and record it and share it with the broader community, I guess. So what I've got here is a pair of my Crown Northampton. What model is this? The Harleston in Bourbon Shell Cordovan. You can see these over here a little bit better. But what I'm gonna focus on, and we're gonna keep this hopefully pretty short, sweet, to the point, is right there, which almost looks a bit like a hole in the shell. And it's not a hole, but let's take a quick look at it. So if I stick my hand in here so that I can push that out a bit, what you'll see is essentially it's just an imprint from one of my dog's paws. I've already conditioned these with Pure Polish Products cleaner conditioner. They were pretty beat up, and just applying a bit of that has got these looking much better than they did before. But essentially what we're going to do is just use my favorite Brift H ebony stick here, and you can really use any tool for this. This is a Coca-Cola sleeking tool right here, which is like a leather burnishing tool, a deer bone, a spoon. Any of those things work perfectly fine. You know, things like this can definitely continue and worsen, if not address, because that kind of becomes like a weak point in the leather. Let's just get into it. I'll kind of talk about what I did after the fact, and we'll get on with our day. Now this is definitely where having a shell working tool that has a variety of different widths and shapes in the tool, where there's definitely an advantage there, because you can kind of manipulate the leather a little bit better by using like the appropriate sized part of the tool. Now I am going to go back and kind of use the tool on the right pair of shoes as well, more so just to kind of make sure that the care that I'm applying to both is even. I typically don't do this where I kind of take the shoe tree out and use my hand behind it, but for this particular one, I'm going to do it just to kind of help right here. You can see, while it looks much better, you can see there's a little kind of like remnants of that spot. So this just helps to kind of like push that area out a little bit so that you can really kind of focus down on it. One tidbit here is you definitely don't want to do it like this and then not use the hand that you put inside the shoe. You don't want to like let that go to where you're just doing this. So you always want to support the upper, basically. All right, I think we've kind of accomplished our goal here. I'm gonna brush them real quick and we'll wrap it up. Switch over to the pig bristle here. All right, I think we've got it. Now, fair warning here, like it's not going to be a night and day situation here, but hopefully you can kind of see what the goal was. And you can see that it definitely looks a bit better. A few quick things to kind of like recap, and important things to kind of keep in mind when using a tool like this, which is you kind of have to like manage expectations. You're not going to remove creasing to the point where creasing or rolls to the point where they won't come right back. No matter what, they're coming back. When I first started out, it was a little awkward getting started, and then you always kind of like get into a groove. That's, you know, very normal. You don't have to always do it in the same direction or straight lines or circular motions. You just kind of have to like feel for how it is best working with the shell. And then sometimes different parts of the shoe, different shells are going to work differently. It's just, you know, there's not one method that always works. Definitely want to kind of get a feel for it and see what's working best at that time, and that'll be the best approach. I love this tool. I use it all the time. I would really not use anything besides this, but any tool will do. Like this tool from that's made out of cocoa wood. I got from Rocky Mountain Leather Supply. It costs like $15. Does a fantastic job. It's my second favorite one. A Deerbone, it does the same thing. It's much more difficult to use and to maintain and to store. A spoon, obviously the easiest to store and maintain, all that kind of stuff, but you know, it's kind of the most like rudimentary version of one of these tools, but I think you get the idea. They all do it, some less elegantly than others. How many of you would be interested in getting something like this for yourself if I was able to kind of like partner with a craftsman and secure like the ebony wood and make something similar to this, probably a little bit larger, but have something like that readily available here in the US, as opposed to having to secure something like this from Japan, which, you know, it's a couple $100 just for this, and then shipping, all that kind of stuff. So these are expensive. Hopefully you guys found this helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know your thoughts about, you know, if you would be interested in something like this. I would love to be able to do that, and would really love to know if that's something you guys would be interested in. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time.